I'm not quite mounting it in the boat yet. I'm going to mount it. I've got I bought I'll show you, a ram mount, vertical mount that swivels. This goes, attaches in there. You'll see how that mounts in the boat later. Okay, so I'm just going to see if there's actually hardware in here to mount this. In the little instructions, it only showed like screws if you're mounting it into timber. So let's see what we've got here. Okay, so there's a couple of self-tapping screws, but also the looks that'll be the fuse for the power cable, power wire, and it looks like little electrical connectors. So I don't know whether I'll use those. So I'll see. There's different ones. Okay, that's that. Outside screw kit. I'm assuming this is going to be the screws to screw it down. Not sure what that noise was on the old phone. Looks like they're just 4 mounting screws. I would suggest they're for this. No, they can't be, they're too small. I don't know what they're for. I'll hang on to them though, obviously. I'm going to get a Stanley knife. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing there. I don't know. They look like they go on the side. No, they're for the transducer. Little transducer dealie. Fit inside there, like so. Yeah. I think there's. You won't be able to see that, but there's letters on there. You can adjust the angle of it and the angle of the dangle. So that's all the hardware for mounting the transducer. I'll keep that together. You know what, I'm going to write on that, transducer. This was power. I think these might be the screws they've supplied. They still look a bit too small as well. They fit, they're very small. I won't be using them, I'll be bolting it to this ram mount. Alright, so there's not really much in the way of hardware there. Okay, these are the little, so this unit, my understanding is that you can mount this into a dashboard via these screw holes here. See that? There's 4 of those. It's mirrored on the other side. But these little jiggers, they cover those holes up. So after you've screwed it in, you put them in, or if you're not using them, you just put that in. So that's what they're for. Seems like a very large envelope for that, but anyway. Alright, I am going to have to come up with some bolts myself. I don't have any stainless. I think these are going to be 6mm. I don't actually have any stainless 6mm bolts. So I'll just have to use, what do I have on hand? happen to have some here by the looks of it. Actually, these are made in the USA, so I'd suggest these are probably, these holes will be imperial size. So I think 6mm is about 1/4 inch. And that is an imperial bolt. Maybe it's just the coating. I'll have to go even smaller. So rummaging around in some bolts here. I've got. I have to go to the storeroom. Alright, see what I can come up with here. I think these holes are going to have to come. I have to drill them out a bit, I reckon. That's good size. Yeah. Yeah, these are 6mm. Cap screws. We call them cap screws. Some you might know them as Allen key screw bolts or whatever. They're called cap screws. All right. All right, I'll just go. I'm going to go to the drill press and drill these out. Didn't particularly want to, but I'm going to. Yeah, it's too big to file. Files are a pain in the ass. All right.
Alright, we're back from the drill press. Drilled out those holes. You probably not see it on the angle there. You can see it once I've drilled out. Give it a bit of clean off the brush. There you go. So it's these holes here.
Alright, yeah, so you can see the holes there. Now these 6mm cap screws fit through there nicely. So they're going to go through from this side. I'll stick a washer on there. I'm going to change these out for stainless ones down the track. It won't be too far down the track, hopefully before I actually get it on the water. I'm doing this to see where I'm going to put the mount, if that makes sense. Make sure it's, you know, comfortable from where I drive the boat from. You don't want, you do not want to use steel or any ferrous metals in your boat because they will rust. There we go, looks good. Probably should nip that up. What size are we looking at? So just to nip this up, I can just hold, like, the cap screws they sort of bite into the plastic, so just nip that up not too tight. There we go. Beautiful. So this is the RAM mount. It's quite a big unit. It's a lot bigger than I thought looking at their website, but I'm pretty sure it's going to do the job quite well. So this is a little, like a friction gasket, I guess you'd call it. Okay. First problem, I'm going to have to trim these bolts off because they're fouling on the bracket. So it's always worth doing all this stuff before you actually commit to installing it. So you've got all this sort of stuff sorted out. All right. Just trim. You might get a few vibrations here. Hopefully I won't have to file that. Beautiful. Okay. Hopefully I haven't gone too short. Always the way. Managed to find both of them. They didn't go under the bench. Amazing. Okay. I've cut that probably a little bit too short, I think. It doesn't matter. It's only temporary. Actually, it's perfect. As you can see there, it's now trimmed down, so it should clear the thing. I'll just confirm that before. I'm pretty sure it will, but just before I do all of them, just make sure the nut's not gonna. Ooh, that is very, very close. That's got to be a design flaw, surely. I think it actually is hitting, and these are low profile nuts. As you can see, like I'm glad I've just checked all this. Like I've got some other stainless nuts here, so just forget about that crown bit with the nylock piece in it. You can see how they're really low profile. So if you do get one of these RAM mounts, that's something to consider. But look, it's going to do the trick. Just. I think there's actually a little bit of a casting on there that says RAM. And it's actually touching that, I think. But anyway, have to trim a few more. Probably notice I'm just chucking the bolt and nut on before I put it in, just to make sure. Yeah, I think this one's going to have to be filed. One thing I don't have is a bench grinder, which would have been really handy for this little episode. Anyway, I think that's all right. Filed my fingernail. Actually, that's a flat bastard file. It's too coarse. smooth foil, half round. There we go, beautiful. All right, should be good now. There we go. They're quite big. It's a big unit. I wasn't expecting it to be this big, but yeah, as I said, I think it's going to do the job quite well. Hopefully, I say that, and I haven't even temporarily mounted anything yet. So, but it's quite doesn't need. So that spins like that. Doesn't need much tension on there to lock it up. So if you like just give it that is solid. So that's pretty good. So you don't need to, you know, so hopefully this is going to work well. Should do. We'll soon see. We'll see you in the boat.